basket?
And the mat goes there.
Oh, nice. Oh, and I put the Unity cup right over there.
And the Kanara goes right here in the middle.
Cool.
Hello, Michael B. Jordan. What are you, Tamir, Gabrielle, and Omo doing?
Habarigani, Grover. That's how we greet people on Kwanzaa. That means what's going on.
Because tonight is the first night of Kwanzaa.
Oh, Kwanzaa!
Oh, Grover knows about Kwanzaa.
Of course I know about... Actually, I do not. What is it?
Well, Kwanzaa is a holiday.
It's a time when we celebrate African-American history and culture with our family and friends.
Oh, and what are all the fruits and vegetables for?
Oh, the fruits and vegetables are to celebrate the harvest.
Kwanzaa lasts for 7 days, and each day has a principle.
And since tonight's the first night of Kwanzaa, it's UMOJA. It means unity.
Unity means coming together with friends, family, and neighbors.
Say, Grover, do you want to help us out?
Well, I am all about unity. What can I do?
I think we can use some corn for the Kwanzaa table.
Say no more. I will be right back. Okay, here are your horns.
Whoa, okay. Thank you, Grover, but we actually need corn. You know, like the vegetable.
Corn! Oh, yes, of course. I was kind of wondering what you're going to do with all these. I will be right back. Okay, there you go. Oh, this is enough. The extra large family size.
Okay, that's a lot of corn. You know what? Maybe we need some more friends to join us.
I think you're right. I mean, I have two friends that can help. My nephews, Lennox and Zabi.
Oh.
Lennox, Zabi, come on in. Come on.
Bobby.
Come on, Zabi. Yeah. Say hi to everybody. H is for holiday. And H is also for happy holidays and joyous Kwanzaa to everyone.
Happy holidays!
Happy holidays.
Ooh. And joyous Kwanzaa.
Today, December 26th, starts off Kwanzaa, in case you didn't know. And I noticed that a lot of my people are on the fence about celebrating Kwanzaa. So I wanted to go into detail about the founders of Kwanzaa. Yes, the founders, not the founder. Because a lot of people think of Karenga and it's immediately an egg. And I just want to say that's totally valid. I recently learned that there was another founder who really helped popularize Kwanzaa. Not that man Karenga. And I wanted to bring more attention to this because I feel like it's really important to consider when making an informed decision on whether or not to celebrate Kwanzaa in the first place. The person that helped popularize Kwanzaa was Makenya Kawate. And she started out in the Bay Area with celebrating Kwanzaa and then branched out doing like a US tour in multiple states. And is the reason why Kwanzaa is as popular as it is today amongst the Black community. Right? Now, she really brought out the best in Kwanzaa. And despite this, whenever you look up Kwanzaa, the first thing you see is Karenga's name on it. What did he really do for Kwanzaa? What did he really do? And mind you, okay, Karenga was not a good person. He co-inspired with the FBI to take down the Black Panther Party, allegedly had 2 women he was tormenting for days. All right, so I get it. I totally get why some people are on the fence about not celebrating Kwanzaa, and it doesn't help that the sources or resources we use to look up Kwanzaa only point out Karenga and not Sister McKenya. And Sister McKenya did most of the dirty work with helping to popularize Kwanzaa, and that needs to be appreciated and noticed when it comes to making an informed decision to celebrate Kwanzaa. I'm mostly making this because I learned this from one of my favorite educational creators, right? But when I mentioned how it's hard for a lot of people to celebrate Kwanzaa because of the founder's history, it was basically just dismissed. Like, oh, is it really? Because he doesn't profit from it. And I'm like, okay, no, because other people are asking you to talk about the founder, rightfully so, because we're like, hey, you know, I know we're like Yamunji, but like Karenga, you know? So, and I feel like if we want to sit here and celebrate history and really look at history, we need to look at all of history. We can't just sit here and retcon history in the hopes that people just get along with it, because people deserve to know the entire truth. Even if it's a beautiful concept, it came from one side was a very ugly person, but people also deserve to know the other person that made it beautiful and tried her best to really honor that legacy of Kwanzaa outside of that man. And that's to be respected and instead of avoided, because that's not truly how people learn through history and make good choices, right? We don't make good choices by censoring the truth. That's just that. But anyways, happy Kwanzaa to all that celebrates, and I hope you have a good one.
I've always wanted to celebrate Kwanzaa.
Who?
Kwanzaa. It's a cultural holiday based on African principles.
Everybody knows Kwanzaa is 7 days.
I don't do anything for 7 days.
Except go without bathing.
Another holiday? With the gifts, I hope. I need a headset to go on my new cell phone. You know.
Honey, this holiday is not about gifts.
It's about instilling strong values.
And becoming in tune with our past, present, and future.
Celebrating Kwanzaa is a great idea. What do we do?
First, we need an elder to pour a tambiko and say a word or two in praise of a worthy ancestor. Sugar Mama?
I thought you said worthy ancestor.
It's easy. You say Habari Gani, what's the news? Everyone responds UMOJA. UMOJA stands for unity in the family and community.
Why don't y'all show me some UMOJA and leave my house? Unified.
Oscar.
Then you say something about an ancestor or family member and how they contributed to the spirit of unity. Drink and pass the cup.
Habari Gani?
UMOJA.
Here's to Percy Proud, the only man I've ever loved, without whom this family would not be together today.
To my mother for not disowning me, even when I acted like a spoiled brat.
Okay, Oscar, light the first candle.
I am watching the game.
Stephanie, will you do the honors?
UMOJA, unity.
Kuji Chagulia, self-determination.
Ujima, collective work and responsibilities.
We celebrate Kwanzaa because it's a way to teach the principles that we must learn to read the world.
Ujama, cooperative economics.
Saba gives us values and a way to show we're building a future we can harvest so the world will know.
We come from the ancient ones, and we're children of the sun, and we're one big family.
Nia, purpose.
Kahumba, creativity.
Imani! Hey, we almost named Penny that. Oh, Faith.
Habari Gani!
I think it's a certain wood. Burn, and I'm able to burn in my...
turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a
Honor and respect, honor and respect, honor and respect. Divine all blessed greetings and salutations. It is another edition of Revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes. Powered, produced, promoted, sponsored, and brought to you by NOIVD, New Orleans International Voodoo Day. Inspired by National Voodoo Day in Benin and led by Black community members here locally, New Orleans International Voodoo Day is a day of collective remembrance and spiritual reparation that is preceded by a symposium, an Afro-ecology exhibit, and includes a procession to the monuments at the sites of slavery here in New Orleans, a ritual to account for and seek absolution for the city's and the country's participation in the institution of slavery, homage to those ancestors who suffered through and survived the transatlantic slave trade, and honor and appreciation for the achievements of those who came out of the oppression. 2 days of education, creative expression, elevation, cultural exchange, and above all, healing. May 23rd, Saturday, and Sunday, May 24th, 2026, through authentic voodoo traditions handed down through generations, we offer a path to healing from the ongoing ramifications of slavery and racism in the United States. We certainly appreciate your continued support, volunteership, participation, donations, and sponsorship by visiting us and collecting more information and signing up with us at www.vodouday.org. Again, at www.voodooday.org. And we're certainly thankful for those who continue to show up and participate in our live Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. U.S. Central Standard Time weeknight podcast, and who come and participate and show up here live in the chat. We are certainly grateful and thankful for you, Nina Lloyd, beloved. BM 4406, we certainly appreciate you and thank you so much for being present. Our beloved Mambo Asagwe, Sally Ann Glassman, we certainly appreciate you and happy Kwanzaa as well. And thank you so much to our beloved co-hosts for your continued support, participation, and commitment to showing up every night for about 45 minutes out of your night and your day to be present on this powerful platform. We will be unmuting our beloved Queen Mother, Sister Toni Val Martinez, community activist, community mother, momentarily. Our beloved Elder Reggie, Green Soap, leader and founder of Shrine of the White Cloth, also a committed co-administrator of NOIVD. And we certainly appreciate our beloved Bianca Johnson Plessy, beloved initiated member of the Source and committed team member of NOIVD. And we certainly appreciate your continued support and participation. Our beloved panelists, Shahid Ali, thank you so much for taking the time away from your family and joining us and being present. Thank you, Britt Brat Dash. I get confused by some of these usernames. But thank you so much for being with us. We certainly do appreciate you. Tonight, first and foremost, Habara Ghani. Habara Ghani is the question, the greeting, the salutation that we utilize during this season of Kwanzaa, the first fruits. And on this first night, we acknowledge UMOJA, the Swahili word for unity. Together, we weave tonight the story of history, foundation, practice, and traditions of Kwanzaa, and the second day of Christmas, and the liturgical season known as Christmastide, uniquely specific here to New Orleans and other Catholic environments that acknowledge Christmastide. The first day of Kwanzaa and the second day of Christmas or Christmastide. So we welcome you, beloved family, to this special holiday episode. Tonight we journey through two celebrations that share the same season, but arise from different histories, different cultural lineages, and different visions of community. Kwanzaa, a modern Pan-African cultural holiday created in the United States, and the second day of Christmas, a centuries-old Christian observance rooted in the liturgical traditions of Europe and the Near East. And though they emerge from different worlds, both holidays invite us to reflect on community, memory, and the ways human beings mark sacred time. They remind us that winter is not only a season of cold and darkness, it is a season of gathering, storytelling, and reaffirming who we are. The story of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a relatively young holiday, born in the year of my blessed birth, 1966, during a turbulent moment in American history. Its creator, Dr. Molana Karenga, was a professor of Africana Studies and a prominent figure in the Black Power and Afrocentric movements of the 1960s. The Watts Rebellion had shaken Los Angeles just a year earlier. Black communities across the country were grappling with systematic racism, economic inequality, and the search for cultural grounding in a society that had long denied African heritage. Karenga sought to create a celebration that would affirm African identity, strengthen community, provide a cultural alternative to the dominant holiday landscape, and reconnect African Americans to ancestral values and harvest traditions. He drew inspiration from first fruits festivals, harvest celebrations found across Southern Africa, including Zulu and Ashanti traditions, of which I hold DNA ancestry to both of those lineages. The Swahili phrase Matunda ya Kwanzaa, meaning first fruits, became the linguistic foundation for the holiday. To symbolize the seven principles, Karenga added an extra A, giving us the spelling of Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa. From the beginning, Kwanzaa was designed as a secular, cultural, and Pan-African holiday, not a religious one, and not a replacement for Christmas. Over time, as the holiday grew, Karenga clarified that Kwanzaa was meant to coexist with other traditions, not compete with them. And today, millions of people in the United States, Canada, the Caribbean, and throughout the African diaspora celebrate Kwanzaa each year. The seven principles. At the heart of Kwanzaa are the Nguzo Saba, the seven principles developed by Karenga in 1965 as a framework for cultural unity and community building. Each day of Kwanzaa, from December 26th to January 1st, or New Year's Day, is dedicated to one principle. Day one, UMOJA, unity. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, the community, the nation, and in our families, our races, our ethnic groups. Day two, Kujichagulia, self-determination, to determine ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Day 3, Ujima, collective work and responsibility, to build and maintain our communities together and solve our problems together. Ujama, cooperative economics, to build and maintain our businesses and profit from them together. Day 5, Nia, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our communities. Day 6, Kuumba, or creativity, to leave our community more beautiful, artistic, and beneficial than we inherited it. Day 7, and the final day of Kwanzaa, Imani, or faith, to believe in our people, our leaders, our teachers, and the righteousness of our struggle. These principles are not merely symbolic. They are meant to be lived 365 days of the year. They form a cultural philosophy called Kawaida, a synthesis of Pan-African, nationalist, and socialist values designed to strengthen Black communities. Symbols and ritual practices of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a holiday of symbols, each representing a value, a memory, or a communal aspiration. The 7 primary symbols include mazeo, or fruits, vegetables, and nuts, representing the harvest. Makika, the straw mat, symbolizing the foundation of tradition. The kinara, the candle holder. The mashuma, saba, the 7 candles, black, red, and green. The muhindi, or ears of corn, representing children and the prosperity of the future. Zawadi, gifts symbolizing commitment and growth, often handmade, handcrafted gifts symbolizing commitment and growth. And Kikumba Cha Umoja, the unity cup. Each evening, families gather to light one candle on the kinara. The black candle in the center is its first lit, representing the people. Then the red and the green candles alternative, symbolizing struggle and hope. These celebrations often include storytelling, African drumming and dance, poetry, reflections on the principle of the day, a communal feast, the Karamu, held on December 31st. Some participants wear African attire, display African art, or decorate their homes in red, black, and green, the colors of liberation. Kwanzaa is not a reenactment of African traditions. It is a modern cultural creation inspired by African values. It is a bridge between the past, the present, between the continent and the diaspora. The second day of Christmas, or Christmastide, the 12 days of Christmas as we've come to know them and identify them. While Kwanzaa begins on December 26th, that same date also marks the second day of Christmas in Christmas tradition. The 12 days of Christmas are not just a song. They are a liturgical season known as Christmastide, celebrated from November 25th through January 5th in many Christian denominations. These 12 days commemorate the nativity of Jesus, the early events of Christ's life, and the unfolding revelation of the incarnation. Different Christian traditions observe these days differently, but the second day of Christmas has held significance for centuries. The second day of Christmas in Christmas tradition. In many Western Christian traditions, the second day of Christmas is associated with Saint Stephen, the first Christian martyr. In many countries, it is known as Saint Stephen's Day. In Haitian voodoo, Saint Stephen is associated with the Loa Ogun, a spirit of war and strength. The Loa Ogun is a prominent figure in voodoo tradition, known for its warrior attributes, its protective qualities, its ability to support foundation, the scaffolding, if you will, of our societies. In Eastern Orthodox traditions, the second day of Christmas is called the Synaxis of the Theotokos, a feast featuring Mary, the mother of Jesus, and her role in the incarnation. In Haitian voodoo, Mary is often associated with the Loa Urzeli Dantor, who is revered as a fierce and protective mother figure. Urzeli Dantor embodies maternal strength and resilience, often depicted as a dark-skinned woman holding a child, symbolizing her fierce maternal energy and protective nature. She is a powerful spirit who fights against injustice and is particularly protective of single mothers and children. Across Europe, the second day of Christmas has also been a day of visiting family, sharing meals, giving to the poor, and continuing the festive spirit of Christmas Day. In some cultures, it became a day for servants or workers to receive gifts or time off, echoes of which survive in the British and Canadian holiday known as Boxing Day. Cultural traditions and evolving practices. The second day of Christmas varies widely across cultures. In Ireland, it is Wren Day, with processions, music, and community gatherings. In Germany and Scandinavia, it is a day for extended family feast. In Eastern Orthodox communities, it is part of a 3-day celebration of the Nativity, followed by days honoring saints and biblical figures connected to Christ's birth. The 12 days as a whole include feast, church services, caroling traditions, storytelling, seasonal rituals that predate Christianity, but were woven into Christian practice. The second day of Christmas reminds us that Christmas was never meant to be a single day. It was a season, a cycle of reflection, and a celebration. Where these traditions meet, Kwanzaa and the second day of Christmas share a date, but more importantly, they share a purpose to gather people together, to reflect on values, and to honor the stories that shape us. One holiday is rooted in African heritage and the modern struggle for cultural identity. The other is rooted in Christian theology and centuries of European and Near Eastern tradition. Yet both ask these questions. Who are we as a community? What do we believe in? How do we honor our ancestors? And how do we teach our children? How do we build a better future? And in a world where cultures intersect more than ever, these holidays coexist not as competitors, but as companions, each offering its own wisdom, its own rhythm, its own light in the winter season. And as I unmute my beloved co-hosts and panelists and invite them to come into the conversation and possibly answer and ask some of these questions of our listening and participating audience. As we move through the holiday season, may we carry the lessons of both traditions. From Kwanzaa, the call to unity, purpose, and creativity. From the second day of Christmas, the reminder that celebration is a season, not a moment. May we honor our ancestors, uplift our communities, and walk forward with intention. I honor you and acknowledge your time and commitment to this 9 p.m. weeknight podcasts throughout the year. We thank you for joining us on this journey through history, culture, and tradition. And I will now unmute my beloved co-host. And may your blessings be meaningful. May your days and your gatherings be joyful and your spirit renewed. All is a blessing. How you doing? Come on in, beloved.
Habaragani.
Habaragani.
UMOJA. How's everyone? That was a good lesson on Kwanzaa and the 12 days of Christmas. Many of us even know about the 12 days of Christmas, or the only thing we know about the 12 days of Christmas is the song on the first day of Christmas and so forth. And that has an interesting history of Catholics hiding their teachings in a song because they were persecuted in England. And it reminded me of how our ancestors hid our religious practices in Catholicism. And Catholicism was once hiding itself. So I found that very, very interesting. And, you know, the meanings of the word, you most definitely have to teach people what each verse of the song is for, because it's hard to see kind of how they placed in it unless you know Catholicism. So anyone else have any words to say on Kwanzaa or 12 Days of Christmas? What about you? Yeah,
Good evening,
Bianca.
everyone. Like you said about the 12 days of Christmas, it's funny to say it because when you're little, like when we're little growing up and hearing it, we don't really pay attention to the details and everything behind and the meaning behind it until we get older. And then that's when we start doing a lot of research and stuff. As far as the Kwanzaa, when I was growing up, I just remember I only had an uncle. I have an uncle in the household that knew more about it and celebrated more than majority of us in the family. And I really didn't notice, I really didn't even know like the background history of Kwanzaa until I got like maybe in late elementary school. I just remember this is like back in the early 90s, 89 or 90s. When we was little, me and my cousin was little, and every time we would get in trouble, my uncle will always make us watch all these documentaries like the Black Panther Party or Malcolm X or something about Kwanzaa. And I just remember when we was little growing up, it was boring to us because he used it as a punishment. It's like you get in trouble, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna watch these documentaries and you're gonna learn something. But when we got older, then that's when we understood, okay, well, this is what our uncle been showing us as a punishment. We wasn't watching and paying attention because some of those was 2 hours or 3 hour long movies. And I just remember when Christmas would come, my uncle would be like, oh, it ain't Christmas. My Christmas don't start till next week, or my Christmas don't start till tomorrow, and it's gonna roll in the next week. And he wasn't like really big on presents, all that type of stuff. I just know that he was just always like, we had the wrong idea of what Christmas is and the dates that it started and all the different meanings of each days. And we used to always be like, oh, he's such a party pooper. But really, we just didn't know and understand what he was meaning and talking about. Then later, a couple years later, once he explained everything, then those are things that I carried on with my kids. So I know that like last year I had my kids do different documentaries and learning and researching about the background histories of like you said, the Black Panther Party or the Kwanzaa stuff on what the true meaning is to Kwanzaa, because a lot of schools don't really teach that unless you're taking like African American history. or something in the classes that's pertaining of talking about African American cultures or something like that. That's about all I noticed. That's about all I had knowledge of about Kwanzaa was when I was little, around the 89 and 90, the 91.
The worst thing you could do is to give children knowledge, but give it to them in the form of punishment. People don't realize they will carry this through their life as not wanting to be educated because they associate it with something negative. Learning is supposed to be fun and given as a gift, never a punishment. I used to think about when they told us, oh, you've been bad, so you gotta write your spelling words 500 times. I'm like, man, after writing the spelling words 500 times, when it's time to take a test, those that know me know how I felt about that test. So I always give knowledge in a fun way, in a productive way. And a lot of parents I saw notice that, even to the point of putting them in a corner and making them hold books over their head. Or making them stand up and hold books over their head. That has a deep impact on a child's psyche in connecting learning with the negative. Elder Reggie, Habaragani.
What's the divine prince went over the first day, but blessed
UMOJA.
UMOJA. Blessed everyone in the collective chat and all the other platforms and out my esteemed panel. Yeah, I was just sitting here, I spazzed out, so forgive me on that. But what I wanted to bring about Kwanzaa, I have been celebrating Kwanzaa for a long time, but it was my first introduction to pouring libations that really, really put me in a direction. And I really do like libations, and I like doing libations. And just a quick little thing, it said it's customary to include children in Kwanzaa ceremonies and to give respect and gratitude to the ancestors. Libations are shared, generally with the common chalice, the Kikoma Cha Umoja. Now, that is one form of libation that is passed around, but when you first start Kwanzaa, there's one like we do when we do our moon ritual. You do the libation and you're pouring it out to the ancestors. And that was the one that I used to always like to do in the different platforms around New Orleans. If it was at the Treme Center, Ashe Culture Center, or some other center, I would always be around and would ask to do the libations. And that really brings me into Kwanzaa. But for the last few years, I haven't been participating in Kwanzaa because they've been shifting in different locations, and I just don't be knowing where it's located at. But that's all I have to add.
Brother Shaheed, do you have anything to add about Kwanzaa, the 12 days of Christmas? Well, I guess not.
We can't hear you, brother. You're muted on your end somehow.
Well, we've come to the end of our show tonight. And we'll go further in the coming week until the meaning behind the song, The 12 Days of Christmas, to give you a better meaning and how they fit in to religion, especially Louisiana being a Catholic state. I also would like to take this minute for us to reflect and give a prayer for Nigeria. Trump has decided to bomb them, and he bombed them And Nigeria is very overcrowded. He's using ISIS as a way of doing it and saying that they're persecuting the Christians there. But Nigeria is so congested. I don't see anywhere where they could drop a bomb that innocent people of all ages wouldn't be affected by in some manner. So let us pray for the people there and the people really everywhere that he's gone and decided he wants to infiltrate their lands for their minerals and oils and stuff. But I want to turn it over to the Divine Prince so he can thank all our viewers on all our platforms. And then Elder Reggie will do the announcements and give us some words of wisdom.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. We certainly appreciate those who are listening and participating from my Facebook profile, Sister Toni's Facebook profile, Elder Reggie's Facebook profile, any of our groups or platforms in Facebook. We're certainly thankful for our LinkedIn community for listening and participating. Many of them are international participants. We're thankful for our YouTube audience, Twitter X, and certainly for our Instagram community, which continues to grow and grow. Thank you so much, Pablo, Art, Malik, for coming through inside Ready. We appreciate you. Elagunda, Osu, we appreciate you. My good friend Chris Top 4, Christopher Maddock, we certainly appreciate you. Haven't seen you in some time. Thank you, Big Chief Strongbow. We certainly appreciate you. My good friend LOPhoto.com. Thank you so much for coming through. Our beloved Duchess of Dumaine, loved by New Orleans. Thank you for coming through. Blue Kalu, we appreciate you. In a message, we appreciate you. Stacy Benbows, we appreciate you for coming through. Nuru Zakaria, thank you. Fable Lachik, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Fable Lachik Nola, thank you for coming through. Devilex, thank you for coming through. And Riz Viz. And we again invite you all to join us again on Monday night at 9 p.m. U.S. Central Standard Time on a platform near you. All is truly and indeed a blessing. Elder Richie.
Thank you, Divine Prince. We'd like to do an advertisement, please. We feed Legba at 6:30 p.m. on Saturday, January the 3rd, 2026, at La Source, Peristyle 3319 Rosalie Alley in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's in the Bywater area. Also, our next New Moon Ritual Prayer and Application Ceremony will occur on the New Moon Sunday, January the 18th, 2025, at 6:30 p.m. in the Zodiac of Capricorn. That address is 710 Clewood Street. It's a ritual of spiritual warfare and gathering. Please, if you can be in the local area, come out and support that event. Lest we forget. The spiritual medicine of voodoo brings healing and relief from the shackles of slavery that binds the master and the slave to the same chain of social division. With that I say, we continue to have work to do, but before I close out, I'd like to honor the work that the New Orleans International Voodoo Organization and team members did by going out to the river parishes and supporting the bonfires. That is important. Whenever family, friends, and community to get together, hold the community accountable and do things of that nature, it is in honor and it is working with the ancestors. And that's what Kwanzaa is about. That's what is the 12 days of Christmas about. It's about family. It's about friends. It's about community and sharing community. With that, I say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Good night, everyone. We love you all, and we'll see you again Monday.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Odabo.
Good night. Good night, Ashe.
What if the greatest power black people ever had was something we already possess, but do not always use? Before wealth, before titles, before influence, our true strength has always been unity. Today we begin Kwanzaa with UMOJA, which means unity, and it calls on us to actively build and protect togetherness within our families, our communities, and our people as a whole. Unity has never been abstract for us. It has been a survival strategy. From African villages to freedom movements in the Americas, our ability to stand together has always determined how far we could go. UMOJA reminds us that healing, progress, and power are collective, not individual pursuits. Living UMOJA means turning unity into daily action. It looks like supporting black-owned businesses and keeping our dollars circulating within our community. It means resolving conflict directly and respectfully, instead of tearing one another down publicly. UMOJA is showing up for community meetings, school events, funerals, celebrations, and causes that matter. It is mentoring our youth, whether formally or informally, and making sure no child feels unseen. It means checking on one another's mental and emotional well-being, especially our elders. UMOJA also calls us to sharing resources, from knowledge and skills to job opportunities and connections. It shows up when we protect black women and children, when we build families intentionally, and when we practice political and economic cooperation instead of fragmentation. On this first day of Kwanzaa, UMOJA challenges us to ask not just what do I need, but what do we need? Unity is not sameness, it is commitment. When we live UMOJA, we honor our ancestors, strengthen our present, and secure a future where black people move forward together, not divided, not isolated, but united by purpose and love. What if the greatest power black people ever had?
First day of Kwanzaa, UMOJA, 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 unity. Together, the seeds of a tree would be so cool. The glow of the season, unity. We're doing this collectively. We can do it if you just believe. We gon' do it if you just believe.